Women are incredible. They push life out of their pussy.
Welcome to my podcast. This is my podcast. It's called the Speakeasy Comedy Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Speakeasy Podcast. My name's Tarah Buchanan, and I'm going to be your host today. And I have my wonderful friend here today, Mr. Braden Leahy.
Hello, everyone.
Am I saying your name right?
You are saying you're the only one who says my last name, right?
It's because of Mr. Leahy.
Every time.
I can't say it wrong. Yeah. If you think I should be paying Mr. Braden Leahy for his time for coming in today, please donate to the GoFundMe, which you'll find a little ticker at the bottom here. It's called Pay the Comedians. This helps me pay for things like 2 hours of Braden's time today, or the 10 hours it's going to take me to edit this podcast. This is my dream. Help me reach my dream.
I have an Instagram. It's Brahy, B-R-E-A-H-Y. I'll have to double check that. That's how little I use it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get more into social media and posting and just kind of showing the world I exist on that capacity.
Well, geez, how long have you actually done comedy? You're fairly new, aren't you?
I started my first show, which was the Crazy Show I told you about. That was in November of 2020. So I got into stand-up with no audiences. My first show was an hour and 15 minutes.
The very first show you ever did, you wrote an hour and 15 minutes of material.
Yeah,
Is that what you're telling us right now?
I had about a month to write it, and realistically, I used about 2 to 3 weeks of that writing. It was for a convention, because, as you know, I'm a member of the 12-step recovery community.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do drugs
Clean
anymore.
and sober. It's the only way to go, kids. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. If you're thinking about doing drugs, Braden Leahy says no. So this was for a convention for the recovery community, kind of at large.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a buddy of mine who was running it. And they had about a 2-hour segment for entertainment. And they already got about 45 minutes filled with my friend Matt Robar, otherwise known as Theory, spelled 7HEORY.
Round of applause, I'm on it, going in.
Shouting Matt out, he's fucking awesome.
Theory. That's a T. Time out. He's awesome.
It's like
Check him
it's
out.
like a T, but it did this.
Yeah, it looks like a 7.
Yeah.
Which is pretty lucky if you ask me, man.
No more rain fall down on me. I'ma do this now properly. Head in the game, no stopping me. Y'all ain't touching this honestly.
He's really great, so I just want to shout him out there.
Absolutely.
But they still had an hour and 15 minutes, and they didn't really have anybody to fill it. So I was talking to my buddy who was organizing it, and I mentioned I had always wanted to do comedy. And he's like, well, would you want to do it for the convention? I'm like, absolutely. He's like, there's like an hour and 15 minutes. Could you do that? And my brain and body said no, but for some reason I said, yes!
Said yes. Dude, can I just say, that never happens. Your first comedy set is 3 to 5 minutes, usually in the regular comedy world. So what you did, that takes huge balls. So how long have you been sober for?
I've been sober for a little over 2.5 years.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, what was your drug of choice? What's your thing?
Longest stint was definitely alcoholic. I started drinking really young, like around 9 years old. Like when you're 9, you can't really find booze that easily, so I'd drink. I'd obsess over it, and then I wouldn't be able to drink again for months.
Yeah.
That really started to go up when I was around 13. It's also when I started doing ecstasy. I first did cocaine when I was 15, and that was kind of my drug of choice. If I had to pick, it's like alcohol and cocaine.
Yeah.
I started doing some harder stuff, kind of got into meth for a little bit as a teenager, didn't really like it. Did crack a little bit as a teenager, again, didn't really like it. I just mostly stuck with cocaine. It's kind of like...
What do you mean?
If cocaine is Five Guys, crack is like the shitty McDonald's. It's like they're both kind of the same. Like one is a little bit more satisfying and quick, but you just feel dirtier doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to explain it.
Yeah, with cocaine I get to look down on crack. It's like, oh, I'm not like you at all. Oh.
I can afford this.
I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh God.
No. Well, like being a broke cocaine addict sucks because you never have money for coke,
Yeah.
and then if you do and you spend it all on coke, now you have nothing to snort it with. Like, so you're kind of screwed.
What do you? Oh, I see.
Rolled up bills.
So, I mean,
This is a true story. When I got sober 10 days before Christmas.
yeah.
So it's like either I get sober for Christmas and that's my gift to my family,
Yeah.
or I really fuck Christmas up.
They must have been so happy to see you sober finally. Did they do the intervention? Is it like on TV?
Apparently my mom kind of had an intervention planned because I showed up blackout on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But I beat her to the punch. Haha! 1-0, Mom. I would love to have a good reason for this. I would love to say it was because, you know, I was like getting kicked out of my apartment and I was on the streets half the time or just crashing at places. I'd love to say it was the health issues or the pushing my family away. Honestly, it's because I really started to suck at sex.
That.
Not that it was fantastic before. I got by. It was a struggle, but I got the job done. But it was
Yeah,
just
it did,
sad. Well, and it's kind of indicative of how addicts work, because like it wasn't because my real problem is I'm super selfish on my own. So it wasn't that I was hurting the people around me. As soon as something started to hurt my ego a little bit, I'm like, okay, now's the time.
So I relate to this, not because I've ever been addicted to any drug, but because I used to be 100 pounds heavier than I am today. And when I was 19 years old, I was 260 pounds. I will put a picture of myself right here in this empty space. And can you believe it? But yeah, I was 19 years old. I'd never had sex. I wanted to just be close to someone that I was actually attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turned 20, I lost 100 pounds in 9 months.
Jesus.
And this is how I was relating to what you said, is I just wanted to be close to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's kind of a pattern in my life. I'm like, once I'm thin, I can start a podcast. Once I'm thin, I can get a good job. Once I'm thin, I can become a country music star. Because I have a good voice and I never show anyone it. Because you know, so.
I find they're actually like really closely tied. Actually, like addiction to food is something I can't wrap my brain around, because I think that's way harder than a drug addiction.
Why do you think that?
Well, because with my addiction, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of personal work to do. It's not just like stop doing drugs and you're good. Like you got to figure this shit out afterwards.
You can't just stop. You got to figure out your problems.
Like drugs are in the way of figuring out what the real problem is. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, I can only recover as long as I am sober. Like, if I'm not sober, I'm not going to get better up here. So I have to not do it at all. With food, it's so much harder, because imagine if I had to get sober, but to stay alive, I had to do a little bit of cocaine, but not overdo it. That's kind of a food addiction.
Thank you so much for having that perspective, because when I was going to eating disorder therapy, this is something we would talk about. An eating disorder is like alcoholism, in the way that you end up putting the lion or the tiger into the cage and you lock it. But with an eating disorder, you've got to take it out for a walk 3 times a day, and like, maybe nothing bad will happen this time, like, you know. So it's tough, because you need food to survive.
Yeah, you're talking about like losing 100 pounds in 9 months.
Yeah.
At the beginning of 2018, I was almost 200 pounds.
How much do you weigh now?
Now I'm like 170.
Yeah, wow.
But at that time, I was working jobs, so I was lifting stuff constantly, and I was in sort of good shape, but also not, because I was very bloated from the alcohol. Mm-hmm. And over the course of that year, because that's the year when my cocaine addiction really started to ramp up, I lost probably about 70 pounds.
Oh my god.
And
like 130? I can't even
I was around 130. I was almost gray. You could see my ribs. Oh my god, how did anybody fuck me in those days? And why?
I mean, Braden, look at that face.
In those days.
Okay?
It was like...
But look at this face. So my little brother, he's taller than me, but he's younger than me. He was over last night.
Yeah?
And him and his girlfriend were both like, oh my god, that guy Braden was so funny at the end of your comedy show the other day. The Speakeasy Comedy Show runs the last Thursday of every month. Just a little,
super fun.
This is my podcast. I can plug my show any fucking time I want, okay?
Yes.
Even mid-sentence, okay? Because I'm being myself, and you might think that's disrespectful, but I'm actually being respectful by being myself. Crystalia. So...
Wait, what's your brother's name again?
Adam.
Adam? Hey, Adam. How you doing? Good to see you. I hope you have a great day.
Dude, is your dick hard right now?
We also put on wigs.
And pretend we're not ourselves.
Like-
Living our best life in our minds.
What are...
Let's see you. Oh my god! Brenda? So Brenda.
Yes, Tamika.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too. How have you been?
I've been really good, but Jaren just broke up with me.
What did he do now? Hey, no, honey, hey.
No, I'm fine.
No, fuck.
I'm fine.
Fuck him.
I know.
What did he do?
He told me that I was getting fat. Please don't break another glass, Brenda. You're very strong. Just be calm.
I am calm.
Brenda, please don't do what you did last time.
She-Hulk is back in the cage. We are all good.
We don't go there anymore.
We don't go there anymore. You know, those days are behind us.
Okay, you've already been to prison twice for attacking my ex-boyfriends.
Well, okay, I just physically threatened.
With a tire iron. And a baseball bat that you nailed several nails into the end.
Well, like,
Which looked really kind of cool, and like you totally put it on Pinterest, and I loved it.
well, I wanted it to
was
stay in
living
his
for it.
car. Fine. You know what? Friend mode is on.
Okay.
He called you fat.
Yes.
Has he seen himself?
I mean...
That treadmill is collecting more laundry than it is sweat, so...
He never fulfilled me as a woman, and I have to tell you something.
Oh my god, what is that?
I don't think I ever had an orgasm. He didn't use his feet, which I really like.
Well, the big toe is the best part! Kick fucking is the way, okay?
You know what? I'm strong. I'm stronger than this. I don't need a man.
What kind of a name is Jaren? You know, it's like someone tried to make up a name like Darren or Jared, but couldn't make up their mind.
Change it.
Let's just forget about him. He was practically like an Instagram boyfriend all the time anyways. I only ever met him in person 3 times.
The moral of the story is pick a name and kick fuck. Pick a name and kick fuck.
That's all I ever wanted from you, Jaren. Get it together. And scene. So what did you think of wigging out?
I love wigs.
It's so funny.
Wigs are so much fun.
Okay, so I had some, I actually wanted to ask you about your tattoos. It looks like you got a new one there.
I did, yes. I got this one from...
The scorpion.
Yeah, so the scorpion I got from Morella at Fox and the Machine.
Yeah.
It's in Inglewood. She's an apprentice, and she
It's
actually...
gorgeous.
She did an
Wow.
amazing job. Thank you, Morella.
And tell us about your other
Um,
tattoos here.
So a lot of my tattoos are just kind of random one-offs. So I'll go with the most embarrassing one. A coffin that says "Wish You Were Dead."
Nice.
Yeah. So I got that. Most of my tattoos I got in my drunk days. So I got that one. That was
Really, that one doesn't seem...
Yeah.
That one seems like your grandmother.
not a super. Yeah, I got it from my grandfather. Kind of the way I live my life. I don't regret the past, and I don't shut the door on it. Every now and then I look at it, I'm like, that's a fucking stupid tattoo.
Yeah.
I have a skull with wings on it because I like Mad Max Fury Road,
Cool.
and I like Mario Kart, and this is kind of like the combination of the two.
Cool.
Not all of my tattoos are awesome as far as symbolism goes. Like
I
this-
love this one.
the spider web on the elbow,
Yeah.
mostly just because I really liked it. I actually didn't realize that it's commonly a prison tattoo, but you know, I've never seen the inside of a jail cell, so that's always awkward to bring up.
Yeah, I like his prison tattoos. He looks trustworthy.
So the one on my chest is the biggest one I have. It's like that big.
Yeah.
It is a Final Fantasy VII tattoo because Final Fantasy VII is the greatest game of all time.
Okay, so you and my brother need to meet because you will definitely have everything in common.
Oh, we will vibe.
Yeah. This one, mother. Aw.
Yeah, mom tattoo because
Mom.
you know I love my mom. You know, I didn't for a long time for no reason, and I'm working to change that. My mom's a fucking rock star.
Can relate.
Well, we were living in this apartment building. We lived on the second floor, but it was right above the parkade, so like the ground was elevated a little bit, so you could jump off of the balcony. That comes into play. She hears something, and she looks over, and this dude is walking away with my bike. She's like, "Hey, motherfucker, stop!" So my mom was like, "Braden, get the dog!" We didn't have a dog, but that only incentivized him to keep going.
Yeah.
So my mom flips one of the chairs over on the balcony, rips off the chair leg. It is like, it's made of metal, jumps over the balcony, and chucks it at his head and hits him. My mom is a fucking superhero. My mom is Wonder Woman. Do not fuck with my mom. She will mess you the fuck up. I think it was like 58 hours of labor, as she likes to remind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 58 hours of labor. Both of my brothers combined, I'm still twice the amount of time.
Perfection takes time.
Does it? Or did she overcook it in the oven a little bit and it came out burnt? That's why I'm so red
fall
all
off
the
the
time.
bone. It's it's hit you in the head with a chair leg. Perfect.
Yeah, so for, you know, for Father's Day, I love you, Mom. This one up here, I got a flapper girl. Like, I would always claim to be a champion of women and all this stuff, when I realized I was super manipulative in all my relationships with women.
I'm so glad that you were talking about this, Kate.
Yeah, I was manipulative as fuck. When I would really think about it, I had that kind of white knight complex where it's like, I have to protect women, yes, because then they'll want to fuck me or something. Yeah, and so...
My hero.
Yeah.
No, you can't help it. Every movie is about this.
Yeah, like Princess Bride, as perfect as I think that movie is, I think it taught me some bad lessons. But yeah, and I also, like, I tried to reject anything in me that was remotely feminine. So I got the flapper girl just to remind me, A, that sides of me that are feminine are to be embraced, and also that when it comes to women's issues, maybe the best thing for me to do is shut the fuck up and just kind of support from the sidelines and not make it about me.
But I appreciate that. And yeah, you know, sometimes, like, I got this tattoo because I wanted to be reminded of my dad.
Yeah.
I wanted to be reminded that I do have a masculine side, actually.
Yeah.
It's a logical side. This side has direction. It has a goal. It has a dream in mind. Reach the goal, get to it, set the goal. I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
And I think it's... Yeah.
Well, when I've seen that in action, and you specifically, because, like, again, talking about the Speakeasy show and the podcast, like, you've lined up all these things to do. Like, you set out a goal and you accomplished it, and and then you're setting out new goals. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Damn!
Anyways, we're going to go into our next segment, which I like to call diarrhea. So, over the years, and in this podcast as well, I'm sure you've been hearing quite a lot of verbal diarrhea. Luckily enough, over the years, I've actually written some of it down. I have a diary.
It's full of verbal diarrhea.
Let's get into some diarrhea.
Okay, go ahead, read it.
Okay. All right.
Stop your goober gobbering.
Stop your goober gobbering.
Um,
What are you doing? Petting your invisible grasshopper.
petting your invisible grasshopper. Yeah.
All right. Can I get an old-fashioned glazed donut?
Which I think actually happened at Tim Hortons once.
Just hands you a donut with a little joint sticking
Yeah,
out.
with a doobie.
I was like, all right, Tim Hortons, I see you.
Okay.
Please don't drop that on my head.
Yeah. I think sometimes her and I might have been a little too rough with each other. We used to wrestle a lot. We kind of did some homoerotic stuff. We'd sleep in the same bed, give each other back tickles, you know, this sort of thing. It was probably like my first lesbian relationship, if I'm honest.
A masterwork.
Yeah. Flip through it, place your finger down at any moment, read.
The only reason you feel in love is because we haven't fucked yet.
I was, you know, you're dating people, and in your early 20s, guys would act like they really, really like you, and they'd remember all these nuances about you, but then as soon as you'd have sex, they'd be like, bye!
Peace.
So, that's probably what that is.
Yeah, and that is very true. That is
So
something
now-
I did quite a bit in my 20s.
I make
wine
sure...
selling.
Yeah, well, thanks for being honest about that.
Oh yeah, no, not proud of it. not proud of it by any means.
But in your 20s, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You know, girls are supposed to be getting tricked by boys to fuck.
Pretty much like all of my relationship jumped into sex way too quickly. But my problem was like I would enter a relationship with the goal of getting laid, but because I was so like self-conscious and just had no self-esteem whatsoever, I would stay in a relationship with anybody who liked me. And it's like, what do you like about me? It's like, oh, you're very kind, you're very funny, and like you clearly want to do the right thing. What do you like about me? That you like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about this in your comedy.
Yeah, so it's kind of just that. So my current relationship, I've been with her for coming up on 2 years.
Sam.
Yeah, I fucking love Sam.
She's lovely. Yeah.
Hey, trouble.
Hey, babe. You got a good one here. He's the keeper.
Because like I never bought into. Well, no, not never. When I was a teenager, I did. But I think the biggest pile of bullshit is calling something the friend zone. I hate people. I hate it when people call it the friend zone. Like, man, I've been hanging out with this girl, and yeah, we hang out all the time, and we talk about stuff, and we're like, you know, we share a lot of ideas, but she won't have sex with me. What do you call that? I call that a friend, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with getting to know somebody and just not doing that, and just enjoying somebody's company. Like, just don't be a dick. Don't take more from the friendship.
It sounds like to me, somebody who's just worried about getting laid, they actually have some other emptiness.
Yeah.
You know, and some other trauma maybe that they're not dealing with. Yeah.
100%.
So,
yeah.
And it's hard to look within. It really is. It's really hard, especially if low self-esteem is not your only problem. You also got alcohol addiction on top of that. You smoke cigarettes. You're overweight. You know, there's a lot of other factors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just get your brain right.
Yeah, get your brain right, and you will automatically not be an incel any longer.
Wouldn't it be funny if when Islamic extremist terrorists blow themselves up, the 72 virgins that they get are the incel terrorists? You got your virgins. I mean,
You didn't specify.
they weren't specific.
Oh, you found the tattoo design.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll show it to.
No!
That's okay. Show it to the people.
What's up? Here's the tattoo design. And here's the finished product.
What? And I got this done in Nicaragua by Carlos. Carlos, I forget your last name right now, but I'll put a picture of you right here.
If you run across some guy named Carlos who wants to tattoo you,
Let him.
let him.
Okay, can we say let him at the same time? 1, 2, 3.
Let him.
Okay, good.
Did you ever notice that your iPhone always wants you to upgrade your storage? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, what is with that?
Why? Why does it want you? Like, stop telling me what to do with my stuff, iPhone.
Don't you have the cloud?
Yeah, that's your job. Like, that's why I have you.
What, you have the cloud, you have the whole sky? You have the whole sky's worth of storage and you want me to upgrade?
No.
Selfish.
That cloud, that cloud specifically
I'm
over
looking
there.
at it
That
right
is
now.
my photos are in there of probably stuff that I should take off the cloud.
Probably delete.
Yeah, that's.
Really hope to see that someday.
No.
On the internet. On the cloud. But I can't because I need to upgrade my storage all the effing time. You know what, iCloud?
Brought it right back.
You upgrade! You!
You
And
are
also,
depriving us of dick pics!
Make a charger that fits every phone. I went there. Okay? Get it together. Okay, Jaren?
Sharon.
So that was diarrhea, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us for that segment.
1 week later.
What do you think of All Eyes on Me?
All Eyes on Me was, first off, the song's fucking fire. I
Amazing.
never say that, but I will say that about that song. And then it
I've
got.
been listening to it on repeat. Like,
Get your fucking hands up.
you say the ocean's rising, like I give a shit. You say the whole world's ending, honey, it already did. I'm like, yes!
Like, it's so. Because, like, the first half of the special, like, it's really, like, it is really funny. Like, white woman's Instagram. The world needs direction from a white guy like me. Bingo.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny with little spots that he's losing his mind. And then towards the end, it just, I've never been hit so emotionally by a special before. Like, I wasn't even laughing by the end of it. I just, because that's the beauty of Inside. You feel everything that he's feeling, because we've all gone through that kind of insane, what the fuck is happening?
So I went to Lake Louise a few days ago
Yeah.
to do some camera work with these guys. I know these stunt guys. I had my dance moves and my smoke bombs. The other guy had his bow staff that he knows how to do spinning with. Like crazy, like...
The coolest guy in the park.
Martial arts, yeah, coolest guy in the park. Steve's awesome. He's awesome. And then his buddy Rocco, who does parkour and like backflips, front flips, all this shit. So all we did was we each had our moment by the lake where we put on Bo Burnham, that song, and just fucking did our thing. And I'm like dancing and doing fucking like, you know, with my smoke bombs. It was so cool. Yeah, the song just, it was just like, just keep going, you know?
On the crazy off chance if Bo Burnham ever sees this, I am a huge fan,
Yes,
have
me
been
too.
for a while, and yeah, man, that was awesome. By the time COVID started, I had like just gotten a year sober, and so it took me a year to kind of become a new person. And at the beginning of 2020, kind of like Bo says, I'm like, you know what? I've been hiding from the world. I want to do stuff. I want to start doing comedy. I want to start doing the things that I always wanted to do. Like, I'm finally feel like I'm further away from my addiction where I can actually do something with my life, and I'm excited. And then the government basically said, here's what we're going to have you do. You are going to stay in your home and not talk to anybody for an undisclosed period of time. We're going to give you thousands of dollars a month, and the only essential businesses that are open near you is the liquor store that's 2 blocks away and the crack house that's next door. So it was a rough couple of months in the beginning of COVID.
At the very beginning, they were like, yep, you gotta stay home. And I just felt like everybody around me started drinking and eating all the time.
Oh
So
my God.
I dug my heels in and I did a fitness competition and I got skinny. I just was like, I'm working out every day. I've got a piece of natural gas pipe, 3/4 inch, and I just like started doing push-ups and like
The workout music from Rocky IV starts playing.
yeah. However, it goes. That's not it at all.
No, that's not it. Why didn't I go with Eye of the Tiger? I go with Rocky IV.
Insert workout music here. But yeah, I got super into fitness.
Like, did you go through like different phases? Like, you start off like, okay, this is totally gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. Okay, I'm getting a little sad. You know what? No, super motivated. I'm gonna do a bunch. I'm gonna be productive. Obviously, like you started the speakeasy.
Yeah, like I started a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and that's more than most people can say. Like, that's really awesome.
Thank you, Braden. Hey, thanks a lot.
You got it, buddy. I kind of did the same thing where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do comedy. My first thing is gonna be an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it started to decline, rapidly declining, and now I'm just pissed off. I'm like, well, I want this to be over.
Yeah, like at the very beginning, I was doing great up until like Christmas when I was like, I'm gonna go home and see my family. You know, you have a bunch of like bad habits that come back. Basically, I was just eating chocolate for breakfast every day, and I gained like 30 pounds back. And obviously that's, I've like leveled out now. I'm not binging anymore. You know what's a binge? A binge is, I'm not hungry, but I'm gonna eat something. Yeah, so it wouldn't be like, you know, a bunch of Cheetos and ice cream until I was like dead on the ground, but it was a binge nonetheless, because it was just making myself full and then going to bed. Like, that's, so that behavior lasted for maybe another month and a half, so into like April, and then I finally leveled out in May, and like my weight like climbed up to like 186, like after a bad day where you're like bloated, you're full of water, you're like, oh, and like now I'm down to I weighed myself this morning, 176, last week I was 174, it's doing the, okay.
So it like fluctuates and then starts to like
Yeah.
even out a little bit. I have a crazy admiration for people who deal with food and eating disorders, because like how do you plan and diet to stay healthy enough where it's not overdoing it, where you're chasing a crazy body ideal, but also not let yourself go back to the way you were. Like that's got to be crazy, because you have to have a plan, but also the mental space.
That's a good question. It's like you have to try a lot of different stuff. So you'll try the starvation diet, exercising like crazy, the zone, Atkins, no carb, high carb, chamomile, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup cleanse.
Spicy pancakes without the pancakes.
Yeah, just blow it out your ass every morning. Carnivore diet. You try macros. Macros was actually the thing that made the most sense to me because it's based off of science. Mm-hmm. So you know what your basal metabolic rate is. Say you burn 1,500 calories per day. Well, you got to eat 1,500 calories then to just break even, stay the same. So to answer your question, someone with an eating disorder, I think that you have to try a lot of different things to find out what's going to work for you. So you'll try a lot of crazy shit. Your weight will be up and down. Basically what it comes down to is you have to know what the value of nutrition of food is. And you need to know how, you have to listen and think intuitively of how it makes you feel when you eat that stuff, so that you are getting your basic nutrition, you're hitting that grams of protein, carbohydrate, and fat every day, that you got to hit those targets. And at first you're tracking it, but then you just know what the value of food is. And then moderation comes into that. Well, I want to have a donut, or I want to have ice cream. And you do that stuff. You still do it, just not very often.
Like the cheat days.
Yeah. You can even cheat every day if you want to. Have a cookie. I said this on the podcast with Ryan Butterfield, like, don't hang yourself with your guilt noose every time you're like, I can't even have one ginger snap cookie, and it's like this, the size of this. It's 2 calories, and you're like, oh.
Well, and that's where I think it's very similar as an addiction, because like the guilt cycle, you gotta break out of that shit.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, no, guilt does not help you.
It makes it worse.
Yeah.
You're basing it off of negativity.
Yeah, and you're basically like building the pressure in the pipe bomb.
Yeah.
And eventually you're gonna have a blowout. Yeah.
It always blows.
Yeah. Whether it's a crack binge or an ocean of Twinkies.
You can't make someone feel bad to feel good.
Well, and especially if you're like an emotional masochist, it's like, do you feel good about yourself? No. I feel terrible about myself. Shame me.
Yeah.
Shame me more.
Yeah, spit on my face. Okay, too far.
Tinder with Tarah.
Tara's Tinder.
Tara's Tinder with Tarah.
Let's find her a match.
Let's find her a match.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is my Tinder. Okay. So, this is Brian.
Brian, in a gigging band, hopefully we'll catch you out there. Rock on.
Rock on. He's got a muscly arm.
Yeah.
He's got some nipples poking through.
You know what? You look good in a polo, and like not many people do.
He's being honest about his hairline as well, which I like. When guys hatfish you, do you know what hatfishing is?
Oh yeah, no. When they Fred Durst you, you know, with the hat, and it's like, oh, you've probably got tons of. Nah.
No. Some guys do that. They're not honest about where their hairline is. This guy's very honest, which turns me on.
Guys, rock your hairline no matter what. Like, I got a fucking widow's peak.
You look a lot like my little brother Adam, but you guys just have so much in common. Okay, so...
All right, okay, let's see what guitar he's got. Looks like a Gibson.
A Mel Gibson. Yes, I don't know.
A Mel Gibson. It's a guitar that yells racial slurs.
And knows what women want. He's cute. He's 6'2".
6'2", muscly, plays in a band.
He super liked me. I think that's really sweet. So
this dude's my age and he owns a home.
I think he's really handsome.
Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah, should I swipe right on him?
You know what? Like, I will say swipe right on Brian. It's a match!
It's a match.
It's a match.
Okay, what should I say to him?
Well, what I'm curious of is, like, what kind of music this guy plays. Because he plays in a band and he's playing a Gibson, so I don't immediately jump to something like country or something like that. They normally play Telecasters.
What do you think of this?
Probably classic rock. What's your genre? Yeah, you know what?
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if his response is, I'm genre fluid...
Then it's love.
Done deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Kieran, which one are you? Because I'm going to assume that you're the one in the back.
Yeah, I know. The first picture being like 3 guys that all look like the same version of each other.
We are Kieran. We are Legion.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal, guys. You know, it's just, I don't know which one you are.
I also would say about these guys, I think they are the super best friends, but yeah, I'm not into any of them. Sorry, guys, but you look like you're having a great time playing golf together. This guy, like, he looks classically handsome, right? But I'm not attracted to him.
5 foot 21 inches?
Oh, is that what it says?
5 foot 21 inches.
That's actually kind of funny. He's doing too many numbers. Just got my 11th vax shot. So, I mean, my dad is 6'5". I'm 5'9.5", almost 5'10". If we have kids, they're gonna be fucking giants.
Oh yeah, and they'd be like crawling, like they would just burst out at you like alien.
Yeah. I don't want to have an elongated cervix because this guy has an elongated body. Honestly, when I'm looking through Tinder, I know it's a superficial app and that you're just supposed to be looking at people like, oh, would I fuck this guy? But in a woman's mind, you're making the negotiation of like, down the line, do I want to share genes with this person? What are our children going to look like? Naturally, that's what we're thinking.
Yeah, the dude's perspective. My time on Tinder was admittedly very brief. But yeah, dude's perspective is mostly just touch it. Just touch it. Come on.
Yeah.
Jesse, I don't trust a man who I can't see, see all of his face.
Yeah, like, take a better picture.
Even that dog looks tired of your shit, Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 32 years old and this is what you look like, though. Drink less cigarettes, you know what I mean? Just, like, smoke less beer.
Yeah, like, stop smoking booze, stop drinking drugs, alright? No more tobacco suppositories. Get your shit right.
Mm-hmm. Mitch, black screen, change it. Yeah. Jake,
kind of look like you have kept people in your freezer.
This guy is kind of, he's got a cute side profile.
Like he's got a decent nose.
Okay,
you know?
Decent nose. He's a skinny boy.
Skinny boy.
Skinny boy, nothing wrong with that. Usually they're
hair,
like huge in the dick department.
Smoking a doob.
Doing the music.
Fucking skinny boys. Cats. Fuck.
I can't.
Sorry, man.
When I was dating someone that you and I both know, I actually got an allergic reaction on my junk.
Oh no!
Yeah. My puss got all swelled up from your puss, you know?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Puss can't handle the puss.
I remember waking up one day and just being like, because I stopped breathing. You know who you actually look like is Ben Patrick. Knees over toes guy.
Ben Patrick.
And I'll put it up here for the viewers, but yeah, so knees over toes guy. Should I show you? Yeah, I'll just show you real quick. This guy. So he had knee pain when he was 12. He got 2 knee replacements. He has an artificial knee in his left, or an artificial patella in his left knee, but he does all this knees over toes shit now. And he fixed his knee pain.
Skinny dude, widow's peak, shitty knees. I identify with that guy.
Tim. I do love a profile that's just cartoons.
Just cartoons.
I'm curious. Oh, nothing else.
No,
just
nothing on Tim.
He's almost a
man.
1,000.
Man, 630 kilometers away. This is the ultimate gamble.
Oh, he's into Disney. Could you tell?
What?
Yeah.
This man is likely going to be wearing a costume during sex.
Arborix. And he has a picture of a tree. Kyle. Oh man, I'm sorry.
That's where the rest of Kai's
hey,
name went.
Look, Brian messaged back.
Oh, Brian!
Oh my God!
Classic rock. Yeah.
Woo! You nailed
Covers
it.
biker music, danceable.
We're talking to Brian in real time. This has never happened before. This is a Tarah's
uncharted territory
for
the podcast.
What's your genre? Classic rock, covers, biker music, danceable, loving it. Oh my God, he's writing something. Dude, okay. Oh my God, he changed his mind. This is killing me.
What is Brian going to say?
Oh, he's typing again. Oh, look. What's your genre?
What's your genre?
My genre.
I am genre fluid.
Okay, should I say that?
Yes, absolutely.
I can also, I can fuck with classical. I can duck with classical.
Yeah, I feel like every pop punk band has been stealing the chord progression from Bach's canon for like 20 years. I used to be able to sing like a Disney princess.
We could throw that wig back on. Are those the birds coming to my windowsill?
They are.
Oh, Oh, what is he saying? He's keeping us in suspense.
What are you saying?
I'm wearing suspenders listening to this guy.
Brian!
This guy. Speaking of classical music, you might have noticed that I pulled my flute out today, and it's just been sitting on the...
I did notice that. We have a response from Brian.
Oh my god, what did he say?
STI Factory. We are literally on the same page as Brian.
Yes. Also, I just...
Stampede, all the cowboy hats you can wear and the herpes you can catch.
Where's my herpes? I had Macy on the podcast a week ago, and she was saying how...
She was there for the 12th speakeasy. She
Yeah.
was making the herpes. Fuck, her set was good.
Wasn't she so good?
Macy, like, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome comedian.
She's hilarious. But yeah, she said that herpes is also known as the Beautiful People's Club because so many beautiful people have it. But if that's true, Braden, where's ours? Are we just
Good question.
totally dogs in the face, or what?
Yeah, what's going on? Is it the weird facial hair? All right, I get tired of getting rid of it. All right.
We're not going to be beautiful until we have herpes, so
give me the herpes.
we got some work to do. Let's just fuck Macy. No, just kidding. Okay, so
Are you speaking from personal experience on the STI Factory there, Bri? I'm in my 30s with no herpes.
Did you hear about Alexis Fruling?
Alexis Fruling.
Who's that?
Stampede, the threesome girl.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, they have to talk.
Yeah.
By the way, like, leave her alone. You know.
Also,
like,
people keep making fun of. They're like, "Was that you?" I'm like, you know,
yes.
if one girl gets railed by 3 guys behind a Cowboys tent, does it have to be every girl you talk to in fucking Calgary? You know.
I've heard she's a stripper now, and I hope you're making money.
Cool.
You know, I hope this situation made you financially stable.
I hope to have her on the podcast someday.
That would be rad. You know, Alexis Fruling, I think you got way too much shit from this city, and you know what? We all make choices. We all do stuff. I've dabbled in exhibitionism myself.
I'm surprised I don't have herpes. Alexis Fruling, I'm asking you to come on the podcast. I hope that you watch it, and I hope that you'll be a guest someday so we can get the scoop.
We can set the story straight. You know,
Set it straight.
best probably is to get 2 bisexual guys, because you know then it's not just like
don't wanna
two
look
on
at
one 2-on-1 assault.
Yeah, I don't want to look at my buddy's dick too. I don't want to hear any of that gay shit. Okay,
Yeah.
This is not about gay. It's about pleasure. Okay,
Yeah.
And you can appreciate a man's body and,
It's like,
and not
hey man,
be gay about it.
good dick.
Yeah, it's just you're high fiving your dicks together.
The scenery's great in a 1-2-3 way.
Try it today. But
is
wear
the fun in
protection,
that?
kids.
You know what? There's worse things that people have done in Calgary that they should be more famous for. Like I used to work in the bars on Stephen Avenue, and so I was taking the trash out one night, and there was a girl sitting on a dumpster, and there's a dude eating her out, and she vomited all over his head, and he didn't notice and kept going. Or worse, he did notice and kept going.
He's like, oh, you're so wet.
So she just, all I'm saying is that those two should be way more famous than Alexis Fruling.
Yeah, I think she landed as a stripper amateur porn actress. I can't recall. She put a video on YouTube deep-throating a cucumber a week later, and that's the last I remember. Leaned into it for sure.
You know what? Good on her.
Good
You
on
know?
her. Okay.
I mean, like, I've been in plenty of compromising sexual situations, and I didn't get famous out of it, you know?
Yeah, which I guess we're all lucky that, you know, we weren't in the public eye. This girl, not as lucky.
Take my breath away.
You do have a voice like a Disney princess.
Thank you. It's weird when you hear my speaking voice and then hear my singing voice. Oh,
Okay.
all right, Brian.
Gotta get paid. I'm just saying, I'd probably have an OF if I could. OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
Okay.
I almost wanted to start an OnlyFans, but just of me doing like household chores, because that's like porn for millennials.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, he's folding his laundry directly after trying it. Oh!
So responsible.
Yeah.
Braden, thank you so much for being on Tarah's Tinder.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a lot of fun.
You're welcome. Braden, thank you so much for joining me for diarrhea, wigging out, Tarah's Tinder. We learned so much about each other.
We discussed the pros and cons of toe fuckery. Alexis Fruling, and so many other topics. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I am curious to know, though, where can we see you performing this month?
I've never performed for a live audience in a normal way yet, so I'm kind of hitting the ground running, I guess.
You started comedy on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something else. That's really something.
No, but yeah, once restrictions are lifted, I will go to every open mic that I can.
Yeah.
Just try to get something out there.
Do you think that maybe we could have you as a guest on the Speakeasy Comedy Show next Thursday?
I'm always happy to be on the Speakeasy.
Awesome. I also wanted to take this opportunity to let you know that I am starting a live comedy show at Koi, which is just over on 1st Street Southwest.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Fishbowl Comedy because it's at Koi.
I'm just one lost soul swimming in a fishbowl, year after year.
God, your voice is so good.
Thank you.
But yeah, so this new comedy show will be hosting weekly open mic. We'll see you there.
Hell yeah.
How can we get a hold of you on the internet?
So on the internet, I have an Instagram under Breahy, Breahy. You can reach me on Facebook under Braden Leahy, Braden Leahy. And yeah, just kind of starting out, but you know, if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think I would have had that fire lit under my ass to actually give this thing a start.
Yeah, you're a COVID comedy baby.
COVID comedy baby.
I love that you were born out of this pandemic that is so special and unnatural, and I like it.
Yeah, like all things that are born, I came out kicking and screaming and covered in my own fluids.
Let me play you out. Anyways, that was just a lame flex. Braden, thank you so much for joining us on the Speakeasy podcast, and hopefully we'll have you back soon, and we'll see you next time.
Anytime.
Peace out.
You're gonna get demonetized for this fucking intro.
Yeah.